It is finally time, guys. It is finally time. We got the key players in. We got Asta, we got Mimosa, we got Noelle, we got the Black Bulls. Noelle's still MIA, so who knows? And wait, hold on. Can we backpedal real quick? LuckyRave. 3 podcasts in a row of Black Clover, and then we dipped? Like, you said this would become a regular occurring thing. And I did say that with occasional points of where life likes to come in the way, which happened this time around. And I know some people in the comments are probably going to be like, huh, that's very coincidental. It's like the chapter Noelle comes back, these guys come back for a podcast. It is very, very fishy. What is this? What is this, I wonder? No, but in all seriousness, like I said, it was a weird, massive timing. Because, again, missing it last week, which was a big throw-off on my end of things, because the chapter ended up coming out on Thursday as opposed to Friday, so that kind of threw off my entire schedule for that. And there's a couple other things I had to deal with on the weekend on my side of things, so I was kind of half the reason why we weren't able to do it. And it sucked because, again, that chapter was actually great, but, you know, for those of you guys who were there when we did the Tokyo Ghoul podcasts, if we missed a chapter, we would make sure to address that exact previous chapter into the current chapter podcast that we're going to be covering, and that's what we're going to be doing. So even though 192 was last week, I'm still covering that because, you know, keep it consistent. No need to be like, oh yeah, we did 191, let's skip 192, because I don't think that's fair. And just like last time, you guys, of course I can't do these by myself. I mean, yeah, I could, but what fun would it be? What fun would it be to have me here by myself, just talking about a manga series like every other YouTuber, when I could just be sitting here just talking with a friend? So I brought a special friend / special guest with me today. Go ahead and introduce yourselves.
Greetings. Yeah, life sucks, but what can you do? We all have our businesses. We all have things to do. And it does suck that we actually missed one podcast. But fortunately, like every other podcast we have done before, like Tokyo Ghoul Re, we usually go back and recap what happened from the last chapter. And thankfully so, because in this case, these 2 chapters could not be any more separated, since first chapter was more of one battle or 2 battle technically, and then this one it covers the other side of the battle with an interesting development. But yeah, it does sucks that we managed to miss out on our podcast routine, but this does happen often, so you know, bear with us. We do our best as much as we can with the schedule we have in, you know, life in itself. It's not like this is like our 100% career or anything like that. We do this because we like to talk about things like this type of series, whether it's manga, anime, whatever, because this is like a hobby of ours and we enjoy doing this. We enjoy sharing our thoughts, our opinions with you guys. So maybe if it's like a full time and, you know, it's us pay us and stuff like that, whatever, you know, it would be a different lifestyle, because of course this would be considered a job. But since this is a hobby, I'm not trying to say we're taking this lightly. It's more like we have other things that's pretty much fulfill that kind of role, that kind of position. So it's like you got a job and then you have to worry about that. So that's something that can get in your way. Like for me or for Lucky Chi, it's something that we just have to, you know, deal with it. But we always find our way to do the podcast because, again, this is our hobby. This is something that we enjoy. This is something we like to do. So even though we did miss one a week, it could be 2 weeks, it could be a more, whatever the time comes, we always going to go back because we enjoy this. And I'm just happy to be back once again with Lucky Chi and share our thoughts on the series itself. So I'm just glad to be back, you know?
I honestly couldn't have said it any better myself. And again, the other big thing outside of just our thoughts is you guys, because all the comments we've been getting, and the last three in general, which I'm still amazed by. Getting the comments, getting the feedback like that. Again, it really means a lot. It really means a lot, and especially getting the podcast like spread, especially on Reddit. That still amazes me that one of you guys does recognition when it comes to that. So I want to thank you for that. But as much as we can talk about that, we got to jump right into not this latest chapter, of course, since we missed out, but 192. 192. Two Crimson Fists, where we have Fuegoleon and we got the Kaiser. And Fuegoleon's like, yeah, this is Sir Kaiser, a man possessing both virtue and power. From the reincarnation, what is stolen is... He's not the kind of person that likes to be standing in the spotlight, but most likely for the sake of his subordinates, he accepted the position of captain. And thus we see this little moment that happened earlier on. And his wife is in the royal capital worried sick about him. Master Fuegoleon, my husband in the royal capital, are they all right? And then, of course, you got the Kaiser. He is a marvelous magic knight, and he has people waiting for his return. So I'm going to bring him back. Flame, spirit, magic, salamander breath, and I mean, look, I'm not going to say it's as crazy as with what Tabata did in 191, but damn, that dragon looks pretty sick. Not gonna lie.
Seriously. Oh man, we already cover in chapter 191 how much we could just stay in one single page, well, it's actually a double page, in one single double page with the artwork, with that illusion. But it just doesn't stop there. It goes anywhere else. Whenever there's a moment of action, he really, really put a lot of work into the design, to the artwork. It's like, damn, how can anime even try to capitalize this? And sometimes they don't, since most of the time they don't. Well, I mean, some would be fine, some will be whatever. But if you get lucky, you get like a really, really great time, like a really great job on it. You kind of wish you kind of wish it was done by a different studio. I think that's the best way to put it. But still, in terms of the manga, but in terms of the manga, you could just keep on appreciating the artwork. Especially this is a guy who doesn't really take break. We just found out the last time he took a hiatus was 2017, right?
Yeah, like literally 2 years ago, which is shocking, actually.
Yeah, I'm like, wow, he didn't take a break
and that's
last year.
excluding the double chapters, by the way, guys. That's excluding like the double issues.
Right. So there's no hiatus like how Oda take his, or recently with Kohi. This is all he's still continuing on to provide some really artistic action scenes. And yeah, there are times there will be a lower page count, but there's no breaks, or there's no like any moments that he slows down in terms of like just putting off like crazy amount of action, crazy amount of detail in action. Remember, this ain't like punching left and right or kicking or anything like that. This is like where it goes a lot of detail, because these are magics that's happening from the grimoires and whatever the other type of thing, like the salamander stuff. It's like, damn, how many detail am I gonna see? So I'm amazed just to see how much he could put to work. It's just funny how this one person that asked me, like, I think he made a wrong choice. I'm like, what do you mean a wrong choice? In his career, should have been an artist. So like,
he's not wrong.
You there.
No.
He's not wrong. Like, damn, he's definitely not wrong for the past 3 chapters now. But yeah, I'm really stunned by this artwork though.
I know. I mean, look, if we go and can ride that dragon too, shit. Then you got a panel for a century. I can say that for certain. If we ever see it, but detail goes through. We got the Kaiser going like, huh, that magic did have some considerable force behind it. Although, it still can't even hit me. And Fuegoleon just kind of thinking to himself, Sir Kaiser's vortex magic. He's using his own mana. he's able to wash away the enemy's spell. Broken in a sense, but it's opposing side, so it fits in this particular sense. And together with the massive mana pools of the elves, he can even repel spirit magic. So magic attacks won't work on him. Well, shit. Sorry, dragon. You're badass, but even you're useless. Man.
Well, just a one-time moment.
Yeah, just a one-time moment indeed. He's expanding the reach of his vortex to use it to attack. Even with the mana skin up, I'm still taking this much damage. And even more of my mana is getting washed away. This is bad. And then we cut over to the elf Vetto against Meroleona. Can we just go ahead and just say barbaric? Because, damn. These two are like literally going neck and neck against one another. What excitement, too. It's funny because I remember this comment, I don't remember where, but someone was like, imagine like two Kenpachis fighting one another. That's what this is.
That's a good way to put it. I didn't think of that, but yeah, that's a one way to put it. It's like you got two Kenpachi going at each other. It's like a straight up brawl. It's awesome.
It is. With the way, like how Meroleona's excited, he's like, man, even if I got scorched, I still bust my way through to you. This incredible speed and reflexes and that power, you ain't bad, you impotent pest. And then you got Vetto going like, oh, that goes for you as well, insect. All of a sudden, you start thinking of Noelle. Right. That.
Dog. Sorry.
Usual catchphrase, but hey. To think that someone as powerful as you existed among the humans. Okay, still got like the attacks going through. To think a snotty pest like him would be this entertaining to battle one-on-one. I haven't felt like this. And to basically get to this point, for me, this was kind of like where the big highlight was for the chapter, because we immediately go up to Fuegoleon and he's like, that straight-laced stickler idiot. He's automatically sensing mana and defending against spells, which means my attacks have no means of hitting him. This completely unreasonable strength reminds me of my older sister. And then we get the flashback. Ever since she was a kid, she was always arrogant, insolent, disrespectful, and remarkable. I looked up to that fierce strength of hers, but there were times those traits of hers also irritated me to no end. I can imagine.
You don't say. I'm just saying, like, I'm gonna drag you along, punch him look like he blew his head off, and then he just destroy a freaking house or something. Like, I could imagine why. But gee, I wonder why.
It's like, cool, I'm spending time with not Onechan. How do you that's for sisters. How do you say it's Nissan and for brothers? So
yeah, Onisan. Wait, what are you trying to say? Onechan. Onechan's right. Well, like he's the younger brother, right? He's the youngest. Right, not youngest, but he's the younger of the two, of course. So it makes it from what I remember, it makes the most sense for him to be calling her, Onechan, since he's the younger one.
Yeah.
Because usually the younger one to the older sibling, they call them Onisan or Nechan. It depends. But
yeah,
I don't think you say that in reverse. Like if I'm older, I don't think I say Onisan or Nechan, to my knowledge. But yeah.
Yeah. We got that, and then again, the flashback's still going on, and we're going like, sister, it's time for our training with Teresa, and then we got her just saying, you can leave her be, young Master Fui, acting from her own instincts. Lady Merlio, will become strong all on her own. That's the kind of genius she is. Of course, we don't have to think anything at this point, and he's like, thinking back on it, perhaps I was jealous of her for that. Sister, you're not going to join the Crimson Lion. And this is like a little bit later on in the flashback. That's right. But why? With your power, you could become the greatest of all Magic Knights and someday even Magic Emperor. If I ever see my grimoire tomorrow, I'm going to go off on a tour of all the grand magic zones. If I became a Magic Knight, I'd be stuck with a boring bodyguard duty or fighting weak criminals. There's no way I could put up with that kind of boredom. Fuegoleon's sister. Can I be your training partner? Right here and now. And she's like, you're serious? Go all out and take me on the day. Goody two-shoes. A huge battle between the eldest daughter and son of the royal house of Vermilion. Oh no, afterwards, that blazing bloody Tuesday. Back then, that idiot was really seething. And then, of course, this is where we'll cut back to the present, where Vetto's like, ha! You're probably the strongest human in this entire kingdom, aren't you? And then we got the elf Kaiser, which means if I can defeat you, then the remaining humans will be trivial. Now disappear. And they're both just like, no. She's unconventional, completely free, and can't be bound by anything. She's extreme and reckless, but with the strength that burns brightly within her eyes. Though feared by all those around her, without any hesitation, she walks the untrodden path, suffocatingly passionate, straight-laced, and by the book to a fault, with a strong sense of a responsibility, with an exemplary strength that had been trained, forged, and polished, respected and idolized by all guides. By all, he guides them, showing them the way. He, that person, is the one. Reignite, most deserving of becoming the strongest. Low doubler, using Salamander as a decoy and wiping out his own mana, so that he could slip through my vortexes, detection, and make his way into me. And then you got Vetto, just kind of thinking, he forced herself to take the brunt of my attack and endured it, so that he could take the mana from it and put it into her next attack. And basically kind of what happens from here is like, as the younger brother of a sister like that. And then you got her thinking, as the older sister of an idiot like that, I must become strong. Like as they're kind of taking out both the Kaiser and Vetto, which again, when the flashback starts all the way to this point, like it's crazy just to see not how well the two fights can like go hand in hand with one another, but kind of how Tabata's able to like meld them together with the flashback, and then just kind of getting their perspectives on the matter, like how Fuegoleon's feeling about the situation on his end, and then just getting that entire situation on Meroleona's end when she's fighting up against Vetto. I mean, I think is like probably one of the most deepest things that we've seen in Black Clover, amongst like some of the other things that we've witnessed in the series thus far. But what about you, Sparda? What's your thoughts on this entire flashback, and then going into what we have right now with like both Fuegoleon and Meroleona like thinking about the other and the heap of the battle?
I really liked it because like this battle, well, judging from the next chapter, I guess you could say this battle ends here if we go by what the next chapter offered. But maybe there will be some little different twist, but who knows? But in the meantime, let's say this is the end of the battle. Now, if that's the case, I thought this is perfectly fine because it has a really good narrative with the perspective view on the brother and sister, especially now we know how their bonds have deepened from their childhood. How much of a sibling these two truly are. And because this is the first time we see them working together, it's like, okay, now we finally got these two, working together. Or we're not really working together, but they're in the same situation. They're in the same mission. They're in the same approach. But like, even when they're far away, they always have this as a tension that they're still in the one same place, because they always have this thought, I need to be stronger, or I want to be stronger. I must be stronger than my brother or my sister, depending on how their view works. they both have their own different view on, or they both have a similar view, but more like a different motive or like a different approach on like why they need to be stronger or like how they stem that idea that they must be stronger than their sibling, which is interesting because it's because like you look at the beginning, you know, you see the brother, he's like struggling and going against this guy, and he was like somewhat relying on a salamander because it is like the newest power, which is understandable. But he was struggling because this guy is pretty much give him no choice on the matter of how to be defeated with how to be defeated without any use of magic or any of like a special trick that salamander or even his flame. So it's like, damn, this is really challenging. With the sister, her story is like, you know, she's always wild about fighting. She's always hype about fighting. And then this is one of the few times that she felt this amazing hype. And the last time she felt that it was facing her against her brother. So it's like a different approach, a different motive, a different feeling, a different motivation to get them to drive them to be strong. But in the end, they both want to be they both wants to be stronger than their sibling. They must because that's just how they grew up. That's how they form of a strong sibling bond. But but it's pretty neat how they both have a different approach to come to the same conclusion. She didn't have too much of a problem. She was like always a brawler head on, but she's always like she's always adapting to the fact that she wants to continue to grow stronger and stronger. And he was struggling, but that's not going to stop him because he's adapted to the fact that he wants to get stronger and stronger, and he wants to be the best. He wants to be the strongest, and to do so, he would have to overcome all the drawbacks. You know, like everything that's going against him, and he managed to do so by sacrificing Salamander and go approach right in front of him and just straight up fist him. And for her, she just take it heads on because that's how she is. She's like she's all about like give me more, more, more. Him is like, you know, like all right, I was like, I see this hard ass challenge. I accept that and I will conquer it. So it's having again a different approach, a different storytelling in a sense, but the same meaning by the end. They both wants to be stronger. They both wants to be the strongest. It's really good. And it's great that it happened this way because again, if it's just like a one chapter battle for both of these and it doesn't have this type of story, it would be like, all right, that's fine. It's cool to see how the battle ended quickly as possible. But what you got is a really good storytelling about the brother and sister and how they both had the same conclusion, but different way to handle, a different path, I guess you could say. Different path, same destination. I think that's the best way I could put it. So that's what makes it compelling, and that's what makes the ending feel really impactful. More so than like, oh, that's it. That's the end of the battle. It's kind of lame, you know. But instead, I felt satisfying, and that's what makes it. That's again, I felt satisfied because the whole backstory, the whole narrative, the whole story about the siblings, and they really work out well in the end. So no, I have no complaint about this. This was really nicely done.
You know, and I'm just noticing this now, like what if we go on because I do remember him like losing his arm, but the punch he makes with his like fiery fist, like literally with fire, like that's really cool.
Actually, that is a good point because it is damn cool. I'm like, oh my god, he uses fiery fist. I just noticed that. Like my second look, because I just reading the lines, I'm seeing the art, but then like my second glance before closing the page or more like reread it, I'm like, oh wait a minute, he uses his fist, but his came from the fiery because because he has no hand anymore.
Yeah, he doesn't.
He doesn't have his right arm anymore, so he uses it out of flame, which that's pretty damn badass. But it is funny still seeing her just straight up fist the guy. I'm like, dang, he fisted Vetto straight up. Yeah. That's a good point. That's a really good point.
It is. And I mean, like the chapter overall, like I thought, if I remember at the time of when I gave the rating on Tumblr, which is where I usually go to post my stuff about the chapters, I believe it was great or great. No, it was Great Plus. I remember it was Great Plus. At least on my end of things. But that was basically this chapter, 192. Great chapter. Then we get to 193, and off the gate again. Chapter title is called The Final Visitor. And we start off the chapter with our goddess, our heroine, Noelle Silva back in the Valkyrie dress. Holy shit. Like, if it...
I was going to find a crowd sounding. I was going to make my own sound, but I'm not sure if I could do it right, so I didn't want to risk messing it up. Like...
Yeah, no, but like,
damn it.
I remember like just seeing this and just going like, man, if you want to talk about building up hype, like off the gate at the start of the chapter, like this is the way to do it. Because no, like Noelle's there taking on Fana, like as if you're dancing on a tight rope of death. Well, that's not her saying it, but that's the editor's note. Valkyrie dresses. I still haven't fully mastered it yet, which rightfully so, because she's only used it like only one time. So using it takes quite a toll on me. She's probably been possessed by Fana from the Diamond Kingdom, a fully reincarnated form of hatred Fana. If that's so, I became afraid of using too much force. So I tried to prioritize control and held back when I shot. Then I can give my all into this one attack, into this attack right. Water Dragon Tail water creation magic. And, she's charging in her attack, and then half of Fana gets blown off, which kind of starts getting Noelle kind of worried, like, oh my god, I'm so sorry. I remember the second I saw this, I was like, this shit's actually really happening right now. Wow.
Murderer.
Yeah.
Oh, God.
Just bringing Simba from liking like murderer. You don't deserve to
live. Oh, God. You can imagine if you just stop at this page and never read again, and you could just rant on the chapter. I cannot believe the top of that made Noelle as a murderer. I'm like, you do realize you should have finished the chapter, because literally the next page is a surprise in a sense. Yeah. But just imagine you just stop at this very page. Like, how could you make fun of death? Well, because she killed the person. Why will you make why you make an innocent poor child a murderer? But
okay. or if we really wanted to, or if Tabata really wanted to be a troll, like make this the last page of 192.
Oh God.
Could you imagine could you imagine the uproar people would have had? Like, what?
Actually, that should have happened. That would have been amazing. That would have been hilarious, actually. Just to end this chapter with that last page saying like, "Oh, I'm so sorry," and it just says, "Huh?" Like the editor knows to be like, "Huh?" Well, shit. She killed somebody. That means she's one step closer to the leader.
Right?
Oh my God. But oh no, this was like one of the funniest thing I seen for like this past week. It's just how it happened. Like, first of all, it makes sense that she would not use her. She would be more careful with her new ability, because again, she just got it literally the same day as we speak. So
yeah,
it makes sense
in manga verse. Like it's still the same day.
Exactly. So it makes sense. Like, okay, I'm still new to this. I haven't mastered it, so I'm gonna like not try to do too much with it. Try not to use too much of magic, but I'm gonna give it all into this one attack. So she doesn't know how powerful is it now. She doesn't know how powerful she has become. So she does this attack, and you look at it. You're looking at early on, and she's like all casual. Fauna is all casual, like all happy, like one of those like, oh, I'm evil. You could try to kill me, you could try to stab me, but I would just laugh it off because I am that crazy psychopath and whatever. So she Noelle was like, all right, I'm gonna give all of this one attack. So I'm going to assume this attack will knock her down because she did it against Salamander a long time ago in that Witch Forest arc. So you would think maybe it would just knock it out, and that would be the end of it. Instead, she technically killed Fana. So oops. She went way above beyond with that power. But again, I guess she really didn't know how powerful she was. But this was a funny way to do this because a lot of characters, a lot of shonen heroes tends to be like, okay, I'm fighting this new villain or fighting this villain that I think it's the same as before, but it might be something added twist to it. But we'll see what happens. You just see the guy just do this attack, boom. He looks badass, she looks badass, whatever. Then the villain would come back, like you just have the character like, what? Impossible. I just did my powerful attack. Well, granted, you kind of have that, but the way how it segued to it, before it segues to it is what makes it hilarious. Because again, she just tried to give it all into one attack because she's still new to this whole Valkyrie thing. And then when she does it, it's like, oh, damn, I accidentally killed a person. And not only she's like shocked that she did so much damage, but she even go on her way to say her sorry. Like, it's a villain. Why are you saying sorry? It's like, well, she committed murder, so why not? Like, oh my God, I just killed somebody. Yeah. Holy crap. I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry.
Dude,
oh God.
Could you imagine if Noelle, if Noelle is actually there, could you imagine his reaction if he's like just watching there?
Mm-hmm. I mean, that's why they give you that panel where you see like her attack did damage, but not this extreme.
You're right.
It's like, we know this dragon attack will work, but now she put it so much to it. It's like, oh crap! Like just killed a person. But yeah,
repent for my sin. I'm sorry.
That really should have closed the chapter. That would have been awesome.
It would have been funny. It's like, man, the fandoms in an uproar, like, oh my God, Noelle, what did she do?
But I mean, of course, it does.
No, but I'm okay with it being here too, because then we just immediately get to the next page, just like that.
Yeah. So of course, there's a special quirk that she can use the Phoenix and she use the flame healing magic pretty well. So that's, of course, that's the twist. But still, like, again, it's the fact that before it gets to that moment is what makes it hilarious and different from every other approach that you usually see. Like, yeah, I'm so awesome, I just defeat the villain. Wait a minute. But in this case, it's like, oh, what have I done? I just killed someone. And then this happens. So this was a really funny change up. You want to talk about, hey, this is a shonen series that does a lot of things similar, but it makes it redefines it. You want to talk about that? This series has been doing a little bit more often than not, or more often than the other series that you probably thought that it has done differently with the similar trope. Again, this trope, the way how they did that whole scene was just hilarious. So everything is all cool and fun.
Yeah, so basically, like what Sparda said, like, we have the Phoenix healing, performing Fana, and Noelle's like, what the hell? Of course, Fana's like, that was some incredible force. I lost my clothes again. I'm like, yeah, we can tell just by, it's like, huh.
So casual. I lost my clothes again. Darn.
Right? I mean, even then, it's not like, oh, like, wow, it's not like to the length of, like what Fairy Tail was. So some people are like, oh, look, no clothes. I'm like, there have been far worse in terms of
fan service.
Yeah, in terms of fan service.
I feel like it's been a while. Maybe just me.
I mean, again, people, Berserk happened. Take that into account.
Oh, we get to that soon.
Yeah. Yeah, it's true. And again, you got Noelle going like, "What? We use the forbidden magic, so we're able to use rather unbelievable spells with our magic powers from the other world. Sorry, but I've gotten pretty sick of dying. How am I supposed to deal with this?" And I was like, "Oh, what's gonna happen?" And then we cut over. I'm like, "No, Tabata, don't, don't, don't cut off Noelle. Not like that."
And then that's where the chapter ends. All right, everybody. I thought the chapter was good. I don't know what happened after it. I saw Asta, but it seems like a to be continued down there, so I'm good. What do you say, Lucky G? We call it a day from here.
For 5 chapters, yeah. For a 5-page chapter, definitely.
Hey, a lot, hey, better than whatever series that does 13, 17, 19 even, or even hell, even better than chapters that does a monthly basis. That's how good it was. All because we have Noelle killing a person when it wasn't a 100% death, but it could have been if it was someone else. Banzai!
Banzai!
But all right, fine. There is more to it.
There is
There's
more.
definitely more. There's more to it, but yeah, you get the idea that Fana can do this, and she's still pretty threatening as a one-on-one villain. But now she could do this healing that's pretty much regenerate, even if she does lose an entire torso. But that doesn't matter anymore now. Because she's she this is a clone bodies or manufactured body, whatever you want to call it. So this is making it much harder for Noelle to go against one-on-one. What about Vetto? I don't know. Maybe it will apply to Vetto. Again, this chapter we don't see the siblings
No, we
at
don't.
all. So we can only assume it was all handled in one chapter, which is perfectly fine. This one is more like, again, the narrative was all about the brothers and sister, how those two made a bond and what brings them together in a very funny sense, but very compelling nonetheless. So in this case, is you got these still newcomers of magic, even though they've been around, but still, you still have the newcomers, Noelle and Asta, handling their things, very challenging things. First, we got the Fana versus Noelle. Now we're going to transition to Asta, which is another case of craziness. Well, take it away.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, because Asta's there, he's charging, and he's like, "There's no end to them." And it's like I'm fighting against an entire world. I don't have a chance to turn into my black form. Insert jokes here if you want to, but hey. But even if I was able to handle all these, if I still can't land a hit on Rill, then it's meaningless. Of course, you still have like him going like, "Oh yeah," then the color might have gone on a little too dark. Huh? Are you still alive? And we got Mimosa there too. Like at this rate, yeah, you got that shot too. Basically, she gets attacked, and I want to say part of her clothes come off. Part, not entirely. Kind of gets like a scrape more than anything. But then Asta comes in, defends. Like, Asta, sorry.
Oh no.
Huh?
Now I remember reading this panel. I'm like, oh no, it's Berserk again. No. And then Asta came in. Oh, thank God.
You're right.
Now,
Oh, so that's the
because
part you were referring to. Okay, yeah.
yeah, I mean, like, yeah, I know saying this scene should be is kind of uncomfortable for some, but I don't blame you guys. But
No, I don't
I
either.
mean, that's what I really thought when I saw this. I'm like, oh no, it's Berserk again. Hiya, kids. But thankfully, Asta's there.
Yeah.
Thankfully.
And even then, like, it's not like it's that bad, I should say. I know, maybe it's just me.
It was not too bad, but still,
It is pretty
hey, you got
noticeable.
yourself. Well, yeah. It's like Asta stops and save her. It's like, oh no, only I could press them. No, but he's like, oh. Hey, he got literal. He almost died by them, for God's sake.
He did.
Exactly. He almost died by dumb. Death by press. I'm not even saying more than that. But it's it. But yeah, he did save her, and then we get to a good yet hilarious idea. I mean, it works, but still.
Yeah, because Asta's like, yeah, because she's like, "Oh, sorry, I'll heal up," and then he's like, "Oh, I don't even have a chance to rest." And then Asta says, "Mimosa, get on my shoulders and wrap us up in plants." And she's like, "Wait, what?" If it comes to this, then we gotta fuse. All of a sudden, I just literally thought of like polymerization, like being activated. Like now, I fuse Asta and Mimosa. I'm like, how? It's like few or like do the Goten and Trunks fusion. It's like fusion, huh?
1 hour. I could imagine if like, don't worry, whatever our friends would handle them pretty normally. They would do just fine. Let's do our fusion. And they do mess up once. You just see Noelle still struggling. 30 minutes later, let's do the fusion again. And they mess up twice. And you still see Noelle still struggling. Like an hour struggle of battle. Like any day now, somebody would like to show up and freaking help me to go against Fana. Maybe, somebody with a damn sword. I don't know. A sword that can negate magic. Baka Asta. Hello.
Yeah, right.
Baka Asta. That's what. Hello.
Or if you want to go by the dub, it's dork stuff. I think the dub and the
Wait,
manga.
that's what he said?
Yeah,
Really? Dork stuff.
dork stuff. Well,
That's not a bad replacement.
I think the official Viz volumes do that too. So I think.
Oh,
Yeah.
really? Wait, hold up. Oh, actually, it's been a while. Look at the Viz. I mean, I'm subscribed to them, or you could just use the Manga Plus cheap plug. But I haven't seen the moment that she called her Bakasta, so I guess that's why I probably haven't, you know, realized it yet. Huh, that's a good one.
I guess that's still funny,
Dork
though.
stuff. Yeah, I know. No, I like that one, but that's clearly a Japanese use only. Because if you try to say it American way, it'd be like, I don't get it. It's like, oh no, that's because in Japanese, baka means stupid or idiot. So you
Mhm.
combine that, baka style, and that makes sense. It's kind of like Gintama jokes. A lot of Gintama jokes won't work if you try and translate it 100% to English, because then it would just lose the point of the joke in the first place. It's tricky, but Dorksta. Didn't know that one.
Yeah, that's the thing. And then Mimosa's like, "Wait, what?" All right, here we go. And quite the fusion,
Fusion.
right? It ain't no Super Saiyan Blue Gogeta, but it's something.
It would do. We got a Megazord, I guess.
Megazord. I mean, yeah, you gotta say that in a way.
Megazord is very friendly environment.
I know. Look at the flowers.
Save the plants, everybody. Save the plants.
Yeah, you got Asta there again rolling with like the two swords. And then we cut away. I'm like, oh, so Noelle. Nope, we cut to outside of the Shadow Palace, where we see Vanessa.
Which surprises me, because honestly, like I said in the 2 podcasts ago,
Yeah,
I thought this would be the end of them. Like, hey, we were not going to see them ever again until everything is over.
that's what I thought too. I was like,
yeah, so I was surprised. Like, oh, we see them more. Shoot, if Noelle was standing by, we probably could see more of her. I was like, all right, you know what? It's an ultimate win, no matter what way you could look at her.
and it's further showcasing that point on like another series, which yeah, I'm just gonna stop there before people start wondering, okay, what is it? But yeah, you have
How
Vanessa.
dare you?
How dare I? I know, I'm so cruel. I'm a cruel individual. No, Vanessa's there and she's like, elves of the Golden Dawn, as expected, they're strong. So close. I I just can't seem to land the deciding blow. There's still a lot more where that came from. And then luck. It's like, there's still a lot more where that came from. Like, this was like such a famous, like, yes, battle. I must do what I can to take on this shit. And then there's this. Like this gust of wind. Mini like miniature tornado size. With like people. Like some silhouette peoples, which I actually didn't pick that up the first time. Like just writing on it. And like this mana, and this person says, I've expanded my mana zone and created mana pads. They're all connected to the Magic Knights. Attacks currently locked in battle. I'm going to go full strength with long distance attack magic, so please support me. Let's go. And holy shit, Yuno has just entered the fray.
Yep. And remember how many people have said, "Where is Yuno?" You know, a lot of puns with Yuno, but where has he been? Yeah, I was like, oh my God, did I read that right? But here he is. Lo and behold, he is finally back. And what more of it? He brought a really cool double page spread to look at it. What I mean, it's not like that crazy multiple universe of artistic, but this one is still one crazy art display.
It is, yeah. Like the second I'm looking at this now, I'm like, what the hell? I'm like Tabata. Tabata has no chill when it comes to art. He honestly doesn't at this point. And I'm saying that in like the best possible lights. I don't take that out of context. Like, oh, it's not like I'm like, no, are you kidding? Again, 2 chapters
ago. How dare you say that?
No, 2 chapters ago? Easily. Again, you could make an entire I Spy game with that. Yeah, Yuno's there. You get some people behind them. You get the chick from Charlotte's Guild. Was it Blue Rose? That one Magic Knight captain that's crushing over Yami. That one.
Yeah.
Yeah. And like beautiful. And then we get Zora like all shocked. And like Zora's sweating, which is rare. Because we never see that with him. Like
this guy just did a one shot.
Yeah, he's like he did this that fast all the way from the end of the kingdom. He was able to help all the Magic Knights all spread out across this place to finish their battle. Like, what the fuck? Okay, he didn't say that last part, but he didn't say that last part.
Oh, he pretty might as well say it out loud, like, what the?
Right? And of course, we got Yuno's wife. No, I'm joking about that part too.
We're Paramore, red alert.
I just tease you guys in the comments if you want to. It's like, welcome. You're here. Yeah, we have Charmy. It's like, here, have some food. And I love Yuno's reaction. He's like, this isn't the time for that. And of course, you got Belle. Yeah, and then you got Belle in the background. Like, what the heck are you doing here, food raccoon?
Food raccoon.
It's like my power is the most needed here in this castle. So yeah, it's funny because people are like, oh, Asta's got his whole thing with like Noelle and Mimosa. I mean, you get the other characters too, but like the main ones, like mainly just Mimosa and Noelle. Yuno's case, it's totally different because he literally got a fairy and then a cook fighting over him.
That is not what I imagine when it comes to the popular guy when it's all said and done. Usually it's always like, I don't know, it's just a typical girl, typical woman, woman that's feisty, fighting, strong, whatever. But in this case, you got a fairy, which not a lot of people can see, and a cook. That's pretty much what she said before, almost lost her entitlement to the lolly character. So yeah, not exactly the image I imagined, but here you go. I guess. I guess Asta called it dibs on the popular boy getting the really, yeah, whatever. Anyway, the point is different.
It is definitely different. And I mean, like all the pairings, like all the pairing fans, have a nice discussion in the comments. That's all I'm gonna say. Still fun nonetheless. And well, I'm doing the puns too without even realizing shit. My God, such a name. Yeah, he's eating the food that Charmy gave her, and he's like, "It's recovering my mana, incredible." And she's like, "Thank you," and she's like, "You're welcome." All like spinning around. He said it. It was incredible. I mean, again, this isn't like Asta and Noelle for me, but I mean, hey, if this is what Tabata's hinting at, then cool. But whatever. But then goes like, "What's the current status?" And she's like, "There's really powerful enemies in that pitch black castle thing. The captains and Asta and a few other are taking on the final battle. Though you can't get in anymore." And then immediately like, "Wait, Asta's in there already? You can't believe it." Then this beam of light shoots out from the pendant. He's like, "This is..." And Gauche, like, "What the heck is that light?" It's like, "Get the heck away from Yuno already." But he hasn't had his dessert yet. Which, of course, is between Belle and Charmy. Charmy will humbly follow you anywhere and make you food. Yeah. I mean, hey, guys gotta recover mana somehow. Might as well take the cook with you if you need it. Which is funny.
It sounded so weird out of context.
I know.
Might as well take the cook if you need some healing. Like, what?
Right? Wow, I didn't even realize that. Shit. Anyway. It's like, "Just you wait, Asta." And they're going in. And then Nero, of all things, like, this bird. What the fuck?
I'm telling you, he's the final boss, and nobody knows it.
Like, the second this pendant starts going up, he's like, "Ah, that's my cue." Like, were you waiting for Yuno to show up? And then go like, "I can finally start spreading my wings. Go up, fly away to the castle." It's like, "Hey, that handsome rival of Acid just went into the castle." That's Magna, see? And he's like, "Even Charmy." And, they go in. And then Charmy, lands on her head. Like, where are you? I was just clinging on to him in a daydream a second ago. Yeah. And where the heck am I? And immediately, oh shit, yeah, we got the artwork again. My God, it's a double page spread, but it's still pretty godly. I was like, wow.
Yeah. Now we see the second side of Berserk, where everything is grotesque. There's the sun in the sky or the eclipse. So, this is Berserk, everyone. We officially have gone Senine, we officially gone dark, and we are officially in hell.
Honestly.
And that reaction is still like, oh, wow.
Yeah, like they're just like, who? It's like, oh, hold on, what is here anyway? Okay, so I want to say, okay, so we got the faces again, the face of clouds. I think there's only
three of them this time.
Yeah.
Yeah. You see some gigante. I don't even know what the hell is that. It's like order in the right. Then you got the left side with looks like a cyclops. That
it kind of does.
Seems like it looks like a cyclops that doesn't have a head, but the eyes is on the chest area, something like that. And you see a snake is about to attack Asta from his right. You see gargoyles, dragons, vampires, or some bats. I'm not even sure.
Yeah, you got that, and then you see this weird picture, like not picture, but like there's something like right near like the left. No, it's the left wing or right wing. I can't tell, but it's kind of got like sculpture faces on them or something. Like you're seeing it, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, you got those too. And then what looks like
you got a building burning up.
Yeah, I was just about to get to that. Yeah, like you see a building burning up in flames. Like, wow. Yeah. So, like Sparda said,
volcano eruption.
We're in Berserk.
We're in Berserk. Simple as that. So, who paid the sacrifice? Who's gonna be the guy that we have to constantly repeat? He did nothing wrong. He did nothing wrong.
Some of those rocks have faces too. I'm just noticing that also. That's interesting.
Oh, sure, you're right. I didn't even notice that. Huh? Wow. Oh boy.
I'm telling you guys, Tabata has no chill with the art. Like you can literally play I Spy with this thing. Like straight. Someone should do that. It'd be fun.
I really hope he doesn't slow himself down after this. So after these many artwork, because there's so many. It's been 3 chapters already, and there's so many crazy details that goes into these panels. It's like
Right.
it's seriously hard to challenge him in this case in terms of the current Shonen Jump lineup right now. I mean,
Mm-hmm.
the only one that could stack up would be Boichi for Doctor Stone,
Dr.
but
Stone's
even that
pal.
is yeah, but it has a different side of detail. I mean, it's still great, but when it comes to like implanting like so many craziness in one panel, such as 191 with that double page spread with like so many things to look over. I was like, holy crap, what is happening here? Like you could just try to find all the different type of materials that's in there, where it's like from snakes, Sybaris, clouds of doom with faces, some crazy giants that coming from like some wood area. It's just it's just freaking insane.
It
like
is.
like Charmy pretty much sums it up in one line about about this whole scene itself.
Yeah,
Pretty
she's like, this
much.
is hell. Like, what the fuck? What did I walk into?
It's like, yeah, I can't blame you there. And Asta was like, what the Charmy? Like, where did this happen?
Yeah. It's like,
How the hell she got into this?
yeah.
It'd be funny. You'd be like, oh my god, does that mean Real drew art of you? That would be a funny reaction. Like,
Dude,
oh
if
my
that's
god,
what
it's a
happened,
fake Charmy. It's a fake Charmy. I mean, I wouldn't blame him because she wasn't even supposed to be there. It was closed, the portal. So how the hell she got in there? So Asta was like, what the?
yeah, right.
Well, we'll see what happens. We'll see what happens with his follow up. But it would be hilarious if he actually tried to be like, "Oh, wait a minute, it's an imposter."
How much you want to bet Tabata might actually do that next chapter?
Oh yeah, well, I will.
Be funny.
Shoot. Hmm.
I'm not gonna say I'm gonna expect that, but if it does happen, it would be funny for sure.
Agree.
Yeah, that's kind of where the chapter ends. It's like, oh well, shit. So Noelle's situation, we're gonna have to find that out because I'm like, how she's gonna survive against Fawn is gonna be my big interest on that aspect. Situation with the Fuegoleon, with the Vermilion siblings. Again, from what it looks like in 192, they've succeeded in their wins. Which, if they have, cool. I'm not gonna complain about it. And my question still stands from the last podcast: where the fuck is Noelle? Like, this dude has
Seriously, where is he? maybe Yuno will go with him, or maybe Yuno will land on Noel. Really hard to say at the moment, but it could go either one way or another.
Yeah, that's bizarre. What the hell? Like we saw everyone, and then Nozelle's like the one character where we have no idea where he is, and it's like, okay, that's the thing. And I mean, given the chapter and where it ends, I mean, in terms of rating, and I actually do remember this, I gave the chapter an amazing plus just because of everything that's happened, and with how Tabata again is able to organically like make the chapter flow. Again, 14 pages, but you still feel like you kind of got like the right amount of contents within the chapter. I mean, if I had to throw in some bias, I guess you could say I wish we got some more stuff, just because I wanted to see where we go. But again, that's just me nitpicking. It was still an amazing plus chapter nonetheless. But what about you, Sparta? Like, what's your thoughts on the chapter overall?
I thought I'm not sure if it was less pages. Maybe it was. I can't be so certain because I think this chapter does have 2 double page. So I'm assuming it might be a little shorter. But despite being somewhat a shorter chapter, I felt like I thought it was pretty damn good because like you got this setup where Fana is pretty much different from her old self, and it was pretty amusing. Again, it was hilarious how Noelle went all out for one attack, assuming that she would do a good amount of damage, knocking her out, but instead went for the ultimate kill, which says a lot for any future villains that go against her. And whenever she goes on the actual murder spree, well, then you know she can really do it. But other than that, we know that the battle will continue on. Maybe she will get a help from Yuno, or maybe she has to know she will have no choice but to fight against her by herself. Depends how this situation goes out. But it is interesting because like it can work in many ways. Because like if you have her going one on one, it'd be cool. She'd probably be wasted in terms of like, well, then again, but it depends how it goes. But you should probably get wasted before you get into meet the final boss Lich. So if instead, if Yuna will help out, she would reserve her magic for later on. So that way she could use it for the most important part of the battle. But we'll see how that's gonna plays out. But regardless, this just shows the special perk that Fana has in an amusing way, because again, the whole scene with I should do all out and oh crap, I killed a person. But yeah, that scene itself is just hilarious. So you got other scenes with Asta and Mimosa. They doing the fusion technique or Megazord. I don't know what you want to call it, but that's the setup right now. So pretty much this chapter is a build up, but it's a very compelling one because of how everything is setting it up with Noelle going against Fana. Maybe Yuna will show up so she could save her magic for later on. Maybe not. We'll see how that goes. We got Asta and Mimosa doing a fusion. Well, no fusion dance, but we're doing the fusion. Now they're about to kick ass, and hopefully they would do well. And one thing I noticed, if you look at the panel where they fuse, quote unquote, there's a little tiny devil next to him. I didn't even notice that until I look at it like right now. I'm like, what that little tiny devil is doing there?
You right.
See when you
holy shit.
You see it. I'm like, what that little guy doing there? Like, hey, what's up, man? And but
wow.
So, but it's great to see Yuno again, and it was pretty damn badass how you take out all the elves from a far distance attack, and he went all out with those, so it makes it much quicker. Then you got Charming, which is always a music scene with Charming and Yuno, and I guess a love triangle in a sense with elf, but hey, it's a love triangle that you don't often see in terms of like the mismatch proportion. Yeah, the rivalry is definitely different from what you usually see. Again, Yuno is the guy. He's like a popular guy. He's a popular, handsome guy. Even Magma said himself that the handsome rival. Like, yeah, thanks for pointing that out. Right. but instead, but in terms of like who wants to win his heart is two unusual not victims. Wow, people. Two unusual people that you would never expect. A cook and a freaking elf. It's like, all right, that's what I always imagine. Anyway, so yeah, so now it's confirmed that Yuno's is part of the big battle, which makes sense because she's like the second main character. So leaving them out will be very questionable, but I wouldn't mind too much. But I wouldn't mind too much, but I think it is necessary, especially he needs that more or less a rematch against Lich from the last time they fought each other. So yeah, that's necessary. But if everybody managed to keep their power, it would be a hell of an amazing event to see. But like, damn, we got all main characters, we got other characters kicking ass. It's gonna be an amazing thing if it does go to that moment. Because right now the symbolists are perfectly fine. I mean, they hurt, but of course they could fight for another time. But we'll see what happens with Noelle. Hopefully she could keep it up. Hopefully she will go and help out when they go against the final boss. Yuno is gonna be there. He has to be there. Not sure what Noelle is doing, but we'll see. And Asta Mimosa is now with Charmage. So this is gonna be a fun one. It's gonna be another fun moment to see how Charmage plays a role for this part. And I don't know. Again, it's a setup chapter, but it's a really good one. And even if it's like, small amount of action, it's still satisfying to see how everything is implemented for the next chapter and how it's probably going to reach the climax for maybe both sides. Maybe we're going to see the climax for both sides, or maybe just the Asta and you and Mimosa with Charmy. Maybe we're going to see how they got all to deal with this berserk world, or sending world, whatever they did. Hopefully, we don't get the exact same result, because I think a lot of people will rage quit, and then we'll probably get a lot of videos saying like, "Look, fight the power. We're gonna support this. Yay, fight the power. Oh, yay, we're so supportive, even though we love Berserk to death. But I'm not gonna tell you that, because if I tell you that, then you're gonna hate me. The elitist is gonna hate me. I lose subscribers. But oh well, I'm just gonna pretend that Black Clover is the very first series that done this terrible scene, and so I'm going to support everybody who felt offended. Yay! But we'll see what happens when that time happens. Oh yeah. Anyway, great chapter. Really fun chapter for a setup for the next chapter. I can't wait to see how that's gonna work out with Charmy in there.
Honestly, it's the same thing with me too. Like I'm really looking forward to seeing what's gonna be happening next. How crazy do you think it would be if, like, say, when the fight with Lick does come, okay, we have, obviously, like, in his state where he's in right now, you have Asta in his black demon form, hypothetically speaking. We throw Noelle in with the Valkyrie dress. How would you feel? Because I think that would be one hell of a fight if the bot actually went that extra step.
Man, that would be a hell of a fight. Oh man, I mean, I know that some people still question themselves if the series is going to end right here. I still don't think so, especially when Tabata said himself, like, "Hey, if he's given the chance to make room, he would love to do so. He will make sure he would do a lot until he's pretty much done with the series. I'm pretty sure he has a lot in his chain, and the world itself hasn't expanded just yet entirely. It was only in Clover Kingdom with a hint of other kingdoms to be part of the world. So it's only a matter of time. We're going to see other places soon. But again, the setup does seem like it goes well with that benefit, since you got the emperor, you got the magic emperor gone now. They pretty much in a very bad situation. The Clover Kingdom is like in a tarnished area. It's like everything is a mess. Everybody's weakened. Maybe we're gonna have more fatality, or we're gonna have a lot of more casualty. We'll see what happens in the aftermath. But it definitely sets up for a lot of room for a lot of characters to get involved soon. But we'll see what happens after this arc ends.
It really does. And I mean, again, chapter 200 is getting pretty close. And since we got here now, I'm kind of wondering now if it's gonna be the whole backstory with Lick, because obviously there is a connection with having the pendant. Like, there's a reason why that pendant opened up, and Nero of all creatures. Now, like, I've always kind of had my reservations for Nero, but now there's really something up with them. Really something up. Whether or not he's like a secret bad guy, which, okay, that'd be something.
I'm the final villain. I'm the Mandarin.
No, let's not go there.
Well, yeah, I know.
I mean, I've seen a couple comments talking about, like, well, maybe he could be the reincarnation of the first Wizard King.
As a bird? As a strange-looking bird?
Yeah.
I mean, I can't say that's a stretch, honestly speaking. I see it more of a possibility, I guess. I mean, hey, if it happens, well, shoot, I love the explanation behind that one.
I know, right?
But,
I mean, it's a cool theory, but it's like, there has to be like some real legit backstory to convince me to go, like, that makes sense. Because right now that bird is a little too suspicious. That's the right word I want to use here.
Now, what if that bird is a reincarnation of that monster? I have waited for years, and now after 16 years, I'm free. Or how many years? After so many years, I'm free. It's time to conquer kingdom.
You pull the Prisoner of Azkaban card. What?
Oh, I didn't even think of that, but that's a good way to put it.
Oh, I can imagine like that happening, and people are like, "Wait, what? He's this guy?" Which let's pretend like it was like foreshadowed early on in the manga. It's like I definitely do think in like since we're getting closer and closer to chapter 200, I do think we're getting something big. I do think Tabata has something very, very well planned out. Maybe not very well planned out, but just something he's been keeping in mind for for this particular moment. And I want to say I think it's going to be the flashback with like Licht and Asta, and and how they're all connected. Maybe how they even got to the church. Maybe. I don't know. Like, what's your thoughts on that, Sparta?
I mean, there has to be an explanation why why the grimoire, the 5 clover leaf one, why that one chose Asta, why he's the one that carried was supposed to be a lich property in the first place. What is the story behind that? And maybe from here we probably start to learn more about like more of this lore, more expanded beyond the elves. Maybe we're gonna learn more about like the whole, whatever happens to that very first to the day where the first magic emperor sacrificed his life to go against the demon. What's this, maybe it'll be a little bit more expanded. Maybe it has some connection.
That's
It's
true.
possible because that's one thing that's I wouldn't say it's left behind. I mean, it's more like it's more like a legend that they all know that's pretty much true. But there might be a lot more story that nobody really knows about it. Like there's a lot of things that you don't know or it meets the eye. Maybe Lich knows more about it. Maybe he knows about the first emperor. Maybe he knows about that monster. Like certainly there has to be something where that thing came from in the first place. So we're probably going to learn more about it in the future. Yeah, it should be. What we learn about here, there used to be elves, but the noblemen people are like just they're the one that really messed up everybody. They're the one that were selfish enough to steal mana from the elves and then run away and just let them die. But there could be a full story to that too. So bottom line is we cannot be so certain to think, oh, the series is going to end in this arc. It's like, how?
No, of
There's a
course
lot
not.
of things to cover. There's a lot of things to cover. We still need a new Magic Emperor because now the guy is dead. We need a new one. That's a lot of
And they still
aftermath
don't know that
result.
yet.
Right. There's a lot of aftermath result that can begin to expand the world, the lore, everything about it. Because like the Clover Kingdom scenarios is nearly over, but we know there's a lot more to offer from other places, from outside places. And then these guys are practically ready to explore more. And with the situation they're in, with the huge mess they're in, while the other kingdom are just chilling and probably waiting for another ambush whenever the time comes, it's like, oh, damn, we got a lot more problems than we initially thought. So there's a lot of ways that Tabata can plan on. Again, Tabata can do a lot more things as long as the editor or anybody in the behind the scene would tell them, hey, if you have more ideas, go for it. So I think he will go for more materials. There definitely has a lot more room. So it's not going to end just there.
No,
I'm pretty certain that he's going to do more of it.
I definitely think that's going to be the case too. And given kind of where we're sitting at right now. Now, again, and I said this in the first podcast too, we could get like a mini time skip, not too long, maybe like say, I don't know, like 2, 3 months, maybe 6 at the most if we want to play prediction card here on that. But some time will pass by when this arc concludes. I can definitely say that for certain. But at the moment, we just gotta wait and see what happens. We just gotta wait and see what happens. And honestly, I think that's pretty much it when it comes to this particular podcast, unless there's anything else that we need to talk about if we haven't addressed anything at this point.
No, I think that's all we got. I mean, just have to wait and see the next chapter. Pretty sure with the
Yes, definitely. And with that being said, you guys, that's pretty much it. Sparta, it was really great having you on board again for Black Clover podcast, like we've been doing.
oh, Yeah. Again, like I said in the very beginning of the intro, I'm glad to be part of the podcast, no matter when, no matter how long it takes for me to get into one, no matter how long it, like how many delays we will go. It could be like, oh, after one chapter, two chapters, three chapters, a month, a year. Okay, maybe it's not too much of a stretch because we're
No,
not
it's
going to
not
do
that
that.
long.
Like, hey, we're still in this arc. Well, actually, I find that to be okay because if it was like another series, like you're still in this arc, help me, man. I'm tired of this piece of crap. See, you don't hear us saying that, or at least me saying that, because I'm really enjoying this arc, and it's actually unbelievable that we actually been in this arc for a year. Yet I haven't really
I
find
know, which
myself
is
complaining
surprising. I
about
never
like
got to that until now.
yeah, like you don't hear me complaining about it because I'm enjoying myself. This arc is legitimately a really good one. It's the one that a lot of people like to say that this is where it proves that Black Clover has more to offer than anybody expected. And then even I saying that too. I mean, yeah, the early arc was the one that started to make me think, the series is actually pretty good. It's actually pretty enjoyable. There's a lot for fans to like. So I changed my mind for what I said before. But I think a lot of people think, what do we go next after this? Now, of course, we said it before. There's a lot of room. There's a lot of open spaces for him to take tackle on. We just had to wait. Right now, we're that close to the ending. So in the meantime, just enjoy what we have. But yes, it's great to be part of the podcast once again. So I'm really happy that we got to do this once more. And of course, we're going to keep on doing until the series comes to an end, whenever that be.
Definitely. That being said, you guys, that's pretty much it. I'm Lucky G7.
Sparda3g.
And we will catch you guys next time. Noelle, we hope you do well and succeed. Peace.